What's up, guys? I got a deck list for you today. Of course, it is Tag Team Babidi. It is a deck that I think is super cool. I have not played a single game on this list. There you go. I have not played a single game on this list, so this is totally foreign to me in terms of actually playing it. I had a list that was way different. I actually just did a change as I was starting to film, and I'll get to that change in a sec here. But either way, to run down the list, the whole idea of Tag Team Babidi is that you're just going to play around his power, which is grabbing allies on his level 1, trying to get himself to level 2, and this is generally where we're going to be sitting most of the time, is on level 2, hopefully. You can use level 1 and 2. You're really just using 1 to kick out the allies, but then you get to 2 and you start milling them. And then you are able to just kind of put some extra cards in your deck, I believe. Nope, never mind, that's level 3. But you can kill some of your opponent's pile, but it's really you're just going to be milling them like 3. You're kind of doing like a whole Cell kind of thing, except maybe I arguably say he's worse than Cell, mostly because he can't grab from the Banner Stone. This is a big thing, and he has to kill his own ally. But his whole combo is playing off his allies, and I think because of the fact that he's so ally dependent is why I think he's really only viable in blue. Like the moment you banish his allies, he's fucked. Like if you can banish a couple of his key allies, he can't do anything, and he can only tutor Majin allies. So needing ally support and wanting to play allies, especially with the OP attack being limited, even if overpowering attack wasn't limited, I could see the black version being a bit better, but even still, I don't know. But anyway, like I said, you're going to be using this master to make sure you always have your allies. You have a lot of search with Babidi. Even if they get banished, you'll grab them with level 1. Level 2 grabs them from the discard pile. We have cards that grab them from all the zones. So this should work out pretty well. I'm just going to do this thing over here. So to go through the choices here, we'll start off with the events here. I have 3 Babidi's Corruption. This card is super good. It lets you in combat. And it also just goes and grabs you an ally. It's nice that it also has a little mischievous kind of effect, so they're knocking it off your deck. You're able to just kind of goof with their hand. So that's another reason why like Mischievous Babidi seems like really good. But I think this is ultimately the superior version. But it's ultimately just a combat ender / ally searcher, so it's kind of nice. Of course, we have Babidi's Dark Magic. Now this card is really cool. It's an ally searcher as well. So both his name cards are ally searchers. His level 1's an ally searcher. Level 2 is an ally searcher. Level 3 grabs you an ally. Level 4 grabs you an ally. He's all about grabbing these allies. But what's cool about this one is it's like an orange destruction kind of effect for allies, which is super cool. Unfortunately, it only goes off your Majin allies, but either way, it can kick out some pretty cool mill. Otherwise, you can grab, what is it? I think you can grab second ally. Oh no, you can raise them to full if you need them to like soak up some stage damage, which is really cool. Should you only have like one ally out. Now they both banish after use, which kind of sucks, and neither of them are attacks, so you can put them back with the Defiant Challenge, but you're not going to be able to like tutor anything, so that's kind of like, I guess, an issue. But either way, they're both really good. They have some endurance. This, of course, gains endurance based on the number of Majin allies you have, so it's really cool. I got Blue Farewell in mine. Daniel didn't have his Blue Farewell in his. This deck should not be really bothering with attacking, so I think having Blue Farewell to... It's kind of like I want to run Blue Quick Save too, but it's mostly space. And Blue Quick Save only procs off my opponent making them leave play, so I don't know. Either way, that could be a good card if I think Ally Hate's good in the meta. But I think Blue Farewell is super good, being able to give you a second Time as a Warriors tool, essentially, which of course I run Time as a Warriors tool, so these two cards are both really good. Dan was running 2 Stare Down. I hate running 2 Stare Down. I love 3 Stare Down so much, but space right now I'm going to try that too. And then he was running 2 Sphere. Originally I had 3 Sphere in this deck, and no Stare Down because I didn't have the room in my previous build, but I was able to make the room, and that's why I was able to fit 2 of each. I think they're both pretty good 2s. If not, Stare Down should be 3. And I think that goes as far as like the events go. That is all the events here. Now I'll move on to the next... Oop, I'm just going to put this over here. Move on to the next cards. So now I'm going to move to my block line. So of course... Time and Farewell are blocks, right? And here's what I goofed in, is I had Blue Absorption in here thinking that Babidi had Alien trait, but no, he's only got Majin trait, which is a bummer. Because Blue Absorption would be able to give me some extra Slime Anger and Anger Control. Oh well. So what I ended up doing is I put Blue Decapitation in, which I'll just I'll bring that up, but that's supposed to be in here instead of its place. So that lets you know that how little I've played Babidi. But the thing is, so Dan and me both run security, and I think you have to run blue security because the certain drills that I'll get to are so strong with Babidi. And I opted to run energy ricochet. He runs blue flight, which if you don't know what blue flight does, what it is it says you can banish an ally you control to go search your life deck for an ally and play it. It's totally synergistic with the whole theme of Babidi's allies, which I'll get to. But for me, I'd rather have the extra endurance, and I'd rather the anger control. And I do have some setups in this deck, so this actually will potentially get me more than like the 2 anger lower. Whoops, immediate off ricochet. Dan also only played 6 hard blocks with time. He didn't run very well, so it's like, I was like, holy shit. You know, Dan says how Dan kind of plays though, and it works for him. And plus you have other commenting too, but for me, like, sorry I'm a little tired here, but for me, I threw 2 deterrence in for the endurance and anger lowering. I could see this going for like shifting maneuver. That would be the card I would swap him for, but I think having extra anger hate is going to be so good, especially with so many people running physical beats that are running anger, so. But I could see it going for shifting on the move, or it could turn into something else random. I love this song, it's a good song. So of course I have overpowering attack. This card, you gotta run it. It's just your universal searcher. I get 3 Sinchoke for ball, and just unstoppable is really nice. Straight damage is really, really nice. For my days playing Wii though, just being able to calculate your damage out, which you can do a lot of in this deck, because a lot of it's just destroy effects. With Sinchoke just adds to that. Blinding energy move to control combat, super, super good. We have Seeking Blast at 2 to help try to get the drills out. So between that and security, got some decent amount of search here. Both of which grab drills. Grow security out of banish an ally, but getting allies out is not going to be hard. Getting them back is not going to be hard either with this mastery. We have head knock, of course. Bread and butter, you gotta have it. Blue betrayal at 3, you gotta have it. Just board hate, anger hate. And I'm supposed to have 3 blue decapitation. If you don't know what decapitation does, it's I can banish it from my hand. I banish a styled physical attack from my pile and perform it, a copy of it. So that means I'll essentially have 6 copies of head knock and betrayal. And if I don't want to do that, sorry, what's really cool about decap in this deck is that one problem with this deck is that you don't have a good way to gain stages unless you're taking damage. So if I have decap on level 2, I can play it from my hand just as an attack, and what it does is it sets my MP to 0, so that'll allow me to use my active allies here, which would be really nice. Oof, sorry, I thought I heard something downstairs, but anyway, so what we have here is just the bread butter like combat cards that you're going to be playing. Most of the time the most important cards are going to be like these events here. I feel like Dark Magic is going to be the big card in the deck. Blue Decapitation, and these 2 is going to be critical as your board hate and for your anger control. You got Sinchoke is just the way that you're going to beat ball. You're just going to try to mill them out and ball and kill them with ball. Or sorry, kill them with the mill when they're down to just ball. Or you want to mill them out to only balls and then hit them with Sinchoke. Is what I'm trying to say. Also just some crits to help you maybe take the balls or kill allies. Again, betrayal kills allies board. So as far as like the tech cards go, I classify Sinister Choke and Betrayal as tech and Head Knock as tech. They'll do really good. Seeking Blast is going to be really good if you can pop it off early in the game when your opponent is probably less likely to block it. Until they kind of know what you're packing, but really, really strong for you to get your setup early. Now we move on to like the real combo pieces of the deck right here. So this stuff is all to kind of support the ally package. So the ally package, of course, you're going to be having. I'm going to throw this on. You're going to be having. It's going to depend. So like at the beginning of the game, you're going to get to kick an ally out with this, right? So generally speaking, you're probably not going to grab with the marginalized, but it depends on the matchup. So maybe Babidi's like in a sense kind of similar to Gohan, as he's got like these 2 defensive allies, and by them I mean Boo is an pseudo energy block, and Dabura is a pseudo physical block. They both prevent. So maybe in a certain aggro matchup you're gonna want to grab these first, right? And both of them have their own effects, right? So all these Majin allies you can use regardless of your stages if you have Majin, or if you're Babidi, right? except, well, these two specifically, the 2 block ones, but we'll get on that in a sec. So of course, we'll start with Boo. Whenever an ally of yours leaves play with Majin, you're going to make your opponent destroy 1, right? So we're going to want to try to throw some cards in that are bouncing allies out of play. And Dabura is the inverse, you know, like the opposite. He's when they enter play, right? And what's really, really silly is that he procs himself, apparently, when he enters play, which doesn't quite make sense to me, but I don't know, I guess it works. But, well, unlike like Orange Torch Drill, but anyway. So, what's cool about all these allies, though, is they have some really sick AT. But that doesn't really matter. But if you were ever to throw a betrayal, I guess, just something to consider here. Whew. So anyway, these are the 2 like bread and butter ones that you're going to want out. They're your engine of the deck. And you're going to always be able to kick them back in the deck with Tag Team Master if they get banished. You'll be able to pull them out all the time with level 1. And if you can get up to 2, you can pull them out of the discard pile. Not to mention we're going to throw some other ally structures. I used to have blue arrest in here as another way to just potentially put them in the deck and get them in case I get stuck on 1. I end up cutting it to try to make my deck more like Dan's, so we'll see. We have Yamu, which is kind of like your orange focusing drill, orange traction drill of the allies. He's pretty good. He keeps them in play for the action, so which that's kind of cool. It's kind of like orange backbreaker or whatever it is, where they can't like leave play, which is going to be nice if your opponent tries to kill one of your allies, but yeah, he protects them all, which is really cool. And then he gets banished, so you can just go grab him back again with this and pull him out again. We have Yakkon here. He's like a rejuvenation effect. So the big thing is like Babidi can only use his active power if he's at 1 stage above, 0 stages above, or this uses this level 1. So I don't know. He's kind of one that you don't want to use to your setup, but that's another reason why decap's going to be really important, is like if you can stack a board full of Majin allies, you can toss him and potentially rejuve up to like 6. So that's pretty cool. Spopovich, he's kind of a goofy one. He's mostly there, I think, to kind of proc Dabura and Boo, but he does give you a little ally hate. So if you search him out with level 1, or you're at 1 or 0 on 2 or 1, and you use decap for him to get him, he is like a attack that can help you against ally decks. So that's, I guess, kind of neat. We have Pui. You know, this dude, he's like the opposite of, it's like the same way that like Dabura and Boo are opposites, is like Pui and Yakkon are opposites. So like Yakkon's putting cards back in your deck, Pui's banished from out of your opponent's pile. Both of them are attacks. I believe they're both, okay, he's a physical and Yakkon's energy, right? The biggest problem with both these cards to me is that they don't hit for any damage. They're just purely there to put cards back in your deck, which is so goofy. Like I don't entirely know why they made them like that, but I don't know. They do 1 life card of damage if you have Majin. Just really goofy that they did it that way, but what's cool is Yakkon has like a power rating of 2, so that's a little flavor text. You know, he's all about absorbing energy in the show, but they're both, I don't know, they're not really the main ones. They're kind of there if you can use them, otherwise they're going to be just kind of fodder for Boo and Dabura shuffling and proccing. So that rounds out the 6 Majin allies that I run. I don't run Majin Vegeta ally, mainly because I don't want to kill all my allies with him. So there's that. I don't really want to banish crap out of my pile because I want to be able to make sure blue decapitation's live for these 2. Of course, we got a couple non-Majin allies, and I think the big strength with Villain ally is that they have really good tech allies. So we start off with Tora. He's going to make all the mill effects increase by 1, including my opponents, so I have to worry about that. Sorry, but I'm like trying to stop myself from yawning. I'm so tired here, but the biggest thing is that he's going to buff Boo and Dabura. So every time one of your allies enters play and then leaves play, they're going to mill 2 each time, which is huge. It's one reason why you could almost consider running Blue Challenging Strike in the deck, but we will also go over, we got Captain Ginyu, of course. This card, so good seeing your opponent's hand. Blue Mental Drill would be really cool in this deck, but I think Ginyu's better because of the amount of ally grab we have with it and shuffling that I have in the deck. So, and unfortunately, Babidi only grabs Majins on his 1, 2. I think his 3 only grabs the Majin. His 4, I believe, can grab, yeah, for any ally. So I'm sure there's some cool decks that try to like get to Babidi 4 to just grab whatever ally you want. Which is goofy. It's kind of like a Goku 4 kind of like grab from any zone, but I don't know how good that is. But that level 4 has got a really cool effect. You know, you can banish, or sorry, yeah, no, sorry, destroy top based on of your opponent's life deck based on number of allies. But either way, this 2 is kind of crap because you're never going to be able to get yourself to 0, feels like, and then 4 is it's hard to get to, so that's why we're mainly just trying to play on 1 and 2. Sidetrack aside, of course, I have Chilled here. Chilled is another tech ally. Not as integral to the combination of the deck. The main guy that you're gonna want is like Tora and Ginyu. As far as like regular games go, Chilled is going to be there for if you think people are playing Unleashed or they're saying Clench or whatever, or they're going to be running Black Capture, shit like that, Black Impatience. Chilled says no to that, which is great. And he does have a Rejuve effect and some banishing if you do manage to get yourself down to 1 and 0. So he's all around pretty good. Cooler I could see in this spot too, but I think Chilled's probably better. We have Nappa. Nappa is... Now, I run a good amount of setups. Nappa, I'm assuming Dan literally only runs Nappa for Vegeta Tech, which is good, because this shuts off Vegeta's Prideful Challenge, this shuts off Red Relaxation, Red Destiny, Black Searching Technique. It's really just like black. It feels like it's mostly going to be... And even against other blue decks, it's really not that bad. So, there's only like a handful of cards that are going to really be turned off by this. It's mostly a bummer. The biggest thing is, like, if you need to kill this, you can kind of do, like, Babidi 2 to get rid of it, which is going to be nice. Or you could get rid of it with Corruption if you need to. So there are ways to get rid of him if you want to use your effects. So those are the allies. Dan also runs Raditz. I keep talking about his list because he's somebody that actually knows to play this deck more, but I don't know how often I'll be at 1 or 0 to actually use Raditz, so that's kind of why I didn't want to run Raditz. Because Raditz is really cool, he grabs you a stout setup with his power, but you have to be at 1 or 0, so... Physical meta, kind of easy to get down there, but in non-physical matchup, you gotta rely on decap, so... We have Blue Waiting Drill as my... we have 2 drills, Blue Waiting Drill, Blue Revive Drill, and these are really actually huge parts of the combination too. So not only do you want to get Dabura and Boo out, you're going to want to get Waiting Drill out and a Rival Drill. And a Rival Drill is pretty much Dabura. They mill every time that you have an ally enter play. So if you have this out with Dabura and you have Tora out, they're milling 4 cards every time an ally of yours enters play. Really, really stellar. And at the end of combat, of course, this is another way to get those. This is another way to kind of get around like that awkwardness of like if you get stuck on one, you can go grab an ally from your discard pile with this. You can grab an ally from your banish zone with this, and they all go back in your life deck to search for later. So it's actually really, really super helpful. Not to mention mills. Waiting Drill, of course, combos really nice with the mastery, whereas you get to rejuvenate an ally from the banish zone. You are going to mill them 2 with Waiting Drill, mill them 3 if you got Tor out, which is super awesome. And of course, whenever you're playing any of these allies, you get to rejuvenate some extra cards, so that's kind of cool. It has really good synergy with Blue Security here. You're going to banish an ally, you can put Waiting Drill in play. End of the combat, you're going to rejuvenate that ally you banish with Security. They're going to destroy 2 cards off their deck. So, just great synergy there. Moving on to the setups, these are the final cards of the deck, along with... We'll just cover Ball 7 is mostly for combat control. Just like how the blinding is. We have Battle Readiness at 1. Mostly in here because it's just a universal grab again. Gets around that awkwardness of like the life deck. It's like, it's good on level 1, it's good on level 2. That's all that matters. It grabs them from anywhere, helps you kick out allies quicker. It's good. I think it's a good one of. That's how he runs. I like it. Dominance at a 1. I think in some matchups you're going to be able to use this level 1 to repel, because of course it says hit, you raise your anger 1 for every marginality you have, and other matchups you're not. And you don't always want to fly to 2 right away. You want to take some time to kick out the allies sometimes. So I think 1 dominance is really good, and it also is a way to pull out your waiting drill and your rival drill. Visage pose at 3, no matter what. This card, oh my god, I hate this fucking card so much. It's so good. It's so hard to not justify it being so stupid. And the best part is, like, in a matchup where you play Nappa, it's still a live card. So ultimately, if you play Nappa, you're really only shutting off 6 of your own cards. You're just losing one of the ways to play this. But this still grabs from anywhere. It's so good. Gives you a crit. It's another way to help win against ball decks. Another way to deal with allies. Another anger, hate card. It's like all around. This card is so stupid, and I hate it so much. And I almost could have stopped this card from being made if I had beaten Matt in top 4 at Northkai. Sad. Blue Vision, of course. This is going to be a super. Oh my god, this card is so cool with this deck, because I'm a big blue training player. But this card, you shuffle an ally you control to go grab another one from your left decker pile. Well, it procs Boo, and again with Tora out, Boo ally leaves play, mill 2, ally enters play, mill 2. And then if you had rival drill, they mill 2. So that's potentially a 6 mil combo going on there off one of these. Super hot. And if you might want to see one of your specific allies, like maybe you need those pseudo block allies, or you need to get the engine going quicker, or maybe you want to. I mean, I don't know. Just there's multiple reasons why, but it's just such a good card. It's combos so well today. And then, of course, the final setup is Villainous Visage. It's a mill card. Need I say more? It is the king of mill since set 1. I say king in the sense that it's just like the one card that I think people dread to see when they play. If they don't drop board hit answer, this slows people down. So between this, ball 7, and 2 blindings, and the farewell time, and corruption, like, you have 6 combat enders, you have 2 omnis, and you have a huge deterrent against life card beats. So lots of stuff going on here. I think this deck looks pretty damn solid, if you ask me. I think the biggest problem would be ball, but Stylish Pose gives me a crit. Sincho gives me a crit. I mean, do I really need more? I don't know, man. Either way, there's some pretty cool combos with the deck. Again, I think a rival drill, waiting drill, both have their times where one's better better than the other, but they're both super solid. You can still work without them with Dabura and Boo. Ideally, you're gonna get Dabura and Boo with these drills out, and you're just gonna literally sit there, bounce allies with Blue Vision. Worst case scenario, you just put yourself to 0-1, and you Spopovich to kill a random ally, and then you just sit there and you can still just enter end combat with all the combat enders to draw them out of some cards. You can use Dark Magic to get like a little orange destruction effect going on. I mean, we got 1, 2, 3, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards that search, not to mention this searches, but I won't count it because it's not a free search. Not to mention level search. We can pull them from the discard pile, from the banish zone, in combat, and the life deck in combat, just like depending on what level you're on and what cards you have. So really consistent at keeping allies out. I think Babidi needs that, so I think this is probably the best deck for Babidi right now. I think just the fact is that if he plays against like Tug of War and he's not in blue, he's dead. He's over because he needs these allies so bad. So I would have almost would have liked them to be able to have like kick back in their deck on their own, like kind of like Android 18 ally does for Krillin, but they would be probably way too busted. So, but he does a really good job in blue, and I think this list looks really solid. I like a lot of dance choices, but I threw more endurance and anger hate in mine because that's what I feel is more important than just raw the Maybe the raw synergy of like blue flight and like less blocks for another ally and whatever the hell he had. I forgot. There's some other card he had in here. By the way, I think this deck list looks pretty damn good, and I think you'll enjoy it if you play it. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go try to get some games on this after I get some sleep. I'm so damn tired, working and stuff. So, but anyway, guys, take it easy. Peace.